There's my UPS guy leaving, and I'm gonna get my package now and do the unboxing. There it is. Hello and welcome back to Brochure's Adventures. My name is Derek and I want to wish you all a happy new year and hope you're doing well wherever you are. Today I've got a really incredible video because I get to test out some new gear. I think this new gear will give me an awesome perspective on my upcoming travels to Italy and South America here in 2018, and I just want to unbox it for you here today. So my delivery man, as you just saw, came down and dropped off this nice little package for me. It is, I'm not going to tell you quite yet, but there's no markings on the box to actually brand it or anything, but I've got my nice little box opener right here. We're just going to dig in. Alright, we've got packing slip. As you can see right here, we've got two boxes. They both came together, they're included. I'll just set that over there. And this right here is the Rylo 360 camera. And I'm really excited to use this with my iPhone 8 on my travels because this does 360-degree video in 4K, but the best thing about this is the software that you can use on the iPhone. I was just looking for my iPhone, it's actually in front of me. But for iPhone and Android coming soon, I think, so I think you have to wait a little bit on that. Today I'm just going to unbox this and show you a little bit about it and maybe do a little bit of a walk around of my neighborhood and test out the features. So this is Rylo. This right here as well is the everyday case, and it's kind of like a little holder, little selfie stick sort of thing, and it has the connection here for all of your GoPro accessories, so you can mount this to absolutely anything your GoPro can go to. It does 4K, but you can also export 1080p from anywhere, so you can frame it up after you've shot everything around you, which gives you a really cool and smooth perspective. It's produced by the same people that did the Time-Lapse app for Instagram a few years ago, which I was actually a pretty big fan of, except for the fact that it didn't have the highest resolution. I've watched some videos on this already and it looks pretty incredible. Slit right out of plastic. Alright, it just slides out. Pretty awesome presentation, pretty sturdy, and it slides open by itself. And right here is the Rylo, and wow, it's still really cold. I don't know if I'm going to be able to turn it on. The battery's probably dead right now. But it's got a little LCD screen right here in the back that's just going to tell me how many minutes and what mode I'm in. It's got a button up here to turn on and off photo and video capabilities, your microphone right here, and two 280-degree f2.8 7mm equivalent field of view here. So it's a little bit thick, but it looks pretty awesome and it feels pretty rugged. I did in fact get the case for it, kind of like a GoPro case, but that ships in the next 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm gonna have to wait for that. I'll do a little video with that when I get it underwater and stuff like that. But yeah, so far so good. Set that right there. Lift up the little clap. All right, what do we have? We have a little sheet that says, "Magic is in the software. Get started, connect your sync cable from Rylo to your phone and rylo.com/start." So I'll leave that over there for now. Oh, this is like a little carrying pouch with, okay, I like that. It feels pretty good. You can drop the Rylo right in, just like that. Keep it in your bag so you don't scratch the front elements of these two lenses here, which that's a pretty big thing because it does have two lenses and they're going to be hard to cover, especially when traveling. You're going to need something like this. I'm glad they included that. Battery, it is 830 milliamp hours battery, which is kind of low, but I hear you can get about an hour of charge with that, an hour of video recording, which is nice. And then the sync cables here, and they give you, this one is the USB micro to my iPhone cable, so the lightning cord there. And then this would be a charging cable, which is nice because I have a huge battery over here that I'm going to be using to charge all of my stuff during all of my travels. And the reason they include this little cable, the sync cable, is because Rylo doesn't actually connect to the iPhone or any device via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It all has to be done via these sync cables because they are such large files. I think I read somewhere that it is about 1 gigabyte per minute of recorded video, which is pretty huge, but luckily I have terabytes of storage to keep all of that stuff on. That's not as easy to open, you gotta shake it a little bit. Okay, it comes in sort of a nice little housing here. Got the selfie stick that you could use both of these for GoPro stuff. So if you have a GoPro, you could use this as a little selfie stick, or you could put this on any of your GoPro accessories. A screw and, all right, a little wrist strap there. I'm not gonna use that right now. So everything all in all, put that very gently down here. Yeah, I can use that as the thumbnail as well. All right, so I've got everything laid out here. I've got the battery, the Rylo, the thumb screw, the case. Maybe I might get something a little better for the case to put it in, but that's good for now. The handle and the everyday sort of housing here that I can carry it around with. I'm really looking forward to use this at some incredible sites on my trip to Italy with my family in February and pretty much the rest of the year in South America. So on the side of the Rylo right here, you have your charging and sync port, the micro USB, and then this is the battery. Okay, it's got a nice little push button right there. Opens up. See if I can put the battery in right the first time. I think I got it. Yep. Now let's turn it on and see if it does anything. All right, we've got some battery. I'm gonna go walk around my neighborhood even though it is the beginning of January. Before I run out and do the test, I forgot to say that this actually comes with a micro USB card, which is stashed right next to the battery there. And it is 16 gigabytes U1 class 10. I'm probably gonna get a better card for that, but it's nice that they include one, not everybody does. Since this is a 360 camera, I'm gonna place it in kind of as I would backwards from a GoPro so I can see the numbers on the screen here to know how long my video is recording and how long my battery is. But it will record everything and keep level. So you just pop it in the little thing like that, almost identical to a GoPro. All right, attaching it to this little handle here is kind of tricky. It's actually pretty hard to do. But once you get it in there, the thumb screw is actually a really nice thumb screw, and voila, I'm gonna attach this to my selfie stick right here. I think this opens. Yep, the bottom of this little selfie stick opens so I can attach it to a longer one. If I'm jogging, I'm just holding it at arm's length. My arm's kinda going up and down a little bit, but you might not be able to see that. All right, I'll extend the pole out. And now I'm holding the camera kind of at a 45-degree angle to my body, so no lens is looking directly at me. I'm at the bottom quarter of the back-facing lens, of the lens facing me. Walking down by the lake here. I don't know if you can see a stitch line or not, but the stitch line shouldn't be very prominent. They should be pretty good with that already. Wow, it is cold out. All right, now I'm gonna jog with the longer stick here, and we'll see if there's any shake. I'm gonna head back to the truck because it's pretty cold. I'd say this pole is probably about 3 feet long plus a little bit of my arm length, so you're probably going to see my entire body since this does have a 208 field of view on either lens, so it gets everything. Alright, welcome inside the truck. I have got the camera mounted upside down on a little GoPro suction mount attached to the handle. And we're just gonna go for a little drive. It's kind of dark here in the truck, I would say. A little bit, it's a little bit shadowy here in the truck. Obviously the outside's a little bit lighter, so you'll get to see the contrast between how it does in dark and light situations if the shadows are kind of grainy. But I'm just gonna drive around town now for a little bit and try the time-lapse feature. So I can already see this being used for some awesome time lapses, hyperlapses, which is kind of what the company that created this kind of meant it for as well, and some awesome road trip stuff, because you get both front and back, and you can pan around the entire cab so you can get everybody in the back without having 2 or 3 different cameras. Alright, as you can see, I just got back from my downtown excursion with the Rylo 360 cam. I'm back in my nice little warm basement because it is about -11 out and can't stay out there for too long. But I did really enjoy taking this out today. I just did the simple edits that you just saw, and that was pretty easy to do with the phone app. My favorite things would have to be, it has a really simple import process, which is, let me get my phone on here. You just go over to the Rylo app, you connect your Rylo with the included cable here. The sync cable is a micro USB to Lightning, and as soon as you plug it into the iPhone, it'll come up, and if you're not already in the app, it will ask permission to open the app. You grant it permission, it goes right to the on Rylo settings. All my videos are already imported to my phone, but you have to just tap and it will import. The import is absolutely smooth and seamless. It's really fast because, again, this doesn't have Bluetooth or wireless capabilities whatsoever. So you just tap the video, it loads onto your phone, and then you're able to edit once it's there. So all you have to do is pick a video, and I will pick the video where I was walking outside and running. You can actually flip it vertically or horizontally, and there's a bunch of different features you can do. Once you're in the editing portion of the app, there are a few different modes you can go into. You can do split screen, half and half, which gives you the ability to look at 2 places at once. And then there's another mode that's similar to half and half that I call reaction mode, because it gives a little bubble where you could put your face or somebody else's face, and then the rest of the screen is wherever you want the camera to be looking, so you can do reaction shots and stuff like that after the fact, which is a pretty cool thing to be able to do on here. The editing is really quick. It's tap and hold, and then you can do follow this or look here, and as you're editing, you just go through and click look here for different things that you would like to look at, and then as your video plays through, it will automatically pan the video across very smoothly. I was really impressed with the stabilization as well, but it'll pan your video to wherever you'd like to look. So another cool feature in the app is by just pinching on the video, you can actually pinch right into the tiny planet view, which is a cool perspective to have. The app also features the ability to correct colors a little bit, which is cool. You can do your contrast, your saturation and vibrance, stuff like that. One of my other favorite things about this hardware and software bundle is that most of the stuff actually takes place on your phone. So that means once you import the video, you can pretty much do everything on the phone. And that leaves a lot of room for updates and improvements by the company themselves. So if they put out a really cool update that gives you more features here and there throughout the existence of the camera, you don't have to actually upgrade to a 2nd or 3rd generation in the future. You could just update the app and get the new features. One of the reasons I was first interested in this camera, and the reason I ultimately purchased it, at least to try, is because it can kind of be a gimbal and an action cam all in one. I had the Osmo Mobile with my iPhone 8 for a little while, and I ended up returning that just because it was a pretty bulky package. And I mean, this is tiny enough, you can fit this in pretty much any pocket. The little pouch that it comes with is nice too. You just slip it right in there. Yes, the handle sticks out, but all you're really looking to protect is the 2 lenses here. It's a really compact package, and for 360 video, it's not bulky. Everything is super smooth and stabilized, which gets rid of the need for a gimbal. The only drawback to that is it's not as high quality as my other cameras. Yeah, it does say it'll export in full 1080p, but the 1080p, the resolution doesn't seem to be as good as something you would get with a Canon 80D, which is what I'm shooting right now. So it's not going to be replacing any of my existing vlogging setup, but it is an awesome new tool that I'll have access to get cool perspectives and just carry around if I don't want to carry my big setup. One other suggestion when you're shooting with the Rylo 2, I know it does come with this little handle here, but when you're holding it, your hand gets all in the bottom of the image there, and plus if you're holding it out like this, your arm looks huge. So I would recommend putting it on another selfie stick or something, kind of to give a little bit of space between your hand, arm, and the pole. And if you can extend it out at a 45-degree angle or so, that'll work pretty well too, because it'll actually take the pole out of the shot and make it look like it's floating. This actually might be the simplest 360 camera that I've ever used or ever seen, actually, because there's only 2 buttons. We got the top shutter button for both starting and stopping video and taking a photo, and then we got this button right here that changes between your photo and video modes, and that is it. There's nothing else. There's no time-lapse mode because you do everything on the app. But there are some modes I wish they had. I did wish they had like a long exposure time-lapse mode, or even just the option in the app to change your shutter timer so that when you click the button it's more than just 2 seconds, so you can put your camera out, because sometimes you get your arm like halfway in the shot or kind of blurry because you're moving your arm back to get it out of the shot in time. But if you're in the market for a 4K 360 camera with absolutely amazing stabilization, this is the one for you, I think. Also, it's super easy to run. I think I said that before. Even my parents, who aren't quite tech savvy, thought this was a pretty easy camera to use, and that's saying a lot. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe below for more travel and tech gear content. I'll be uploading about 3 to 4 videos a week in the upcoming months from Italy and South America. So subscribe below, safe travels, and never stop adventuring.